Hello there. Welcome to week 6 of 10 weeks of Stirling soaps. This week is Shave. It's featuring Stirling's Lavender Sage. Uh, I'm a lavender fan. I really love the scent of lavender. Uh, I think it goes well with all kinds of things, all types of scents. It blends well, and it's just one of the, I think, greatest scents out there is lavender. And on this soap, I do pick up a faint hint of lavender, but the sage is more predominant. Now, I would prefer, at least from an initial scent off the puck, a more predominant lavender note. But let's see what it does once we get it on the face. It does smell good. It's just not as much lavender as I would have preferred, at least off of the puck. I'm going to use my Semogue 1438 Boar brush, and I've got my Schick Injector E3 series. I've got about 2 days of growth. The last time I shaved was Saturday evening. So I've got it. It's Tuesday now, so I've got about 2 days, 2.25, 2.5, whatever. I'm just going to say 2 days. About 2 days of growth on my beard. And normally when I do that, let me go ahead and start lathering this while I talk. Normally when I do that, when I have that much growth, I reach for a straight. My hands are a bit trembly today. I'm sick, and when I'm sick, I tremble and have problems. My diabetes problems sometimes get worse, and part of that is the shakiness of the hand and all of that. So I'm not even beginning to remotely consider putting a straight to my face. However, what I can say is that the Schick Injector, it'll mow right through it. It's not a problem. That little beauty will mow right through 2 days growth without a lick of problem whatsoever. They're wonderful, wonderful razors. And so, it's not going to be a problem. So let me transfer to my lather bowl. I started a bit drier. I've been doing that here lately. It seems to produce a bit better lather with Stirling, or any soap actually for that matter. This is lathering really well. There is, I mentioned before, I believe it was either the Clubman or the Sandalwood, one of those scents. There was a slight tinge, a creamy, reddish creamy kind of tinge to the lather. Well, this has got a very, very slight tinge to it as well. I don't know if you weren't looking for it, you might not even notice it, but I have a tendency now, since I've seen it twice already. And please understand, by no means is that a problem. Spike cream does the same kind of stuff to me. When I lather it, it has sort of a tinge to it. And it's not a problem. It's just something that I look for now, because I've experienced it in some soaps. And this has, at least as I'm looking at it, a slight tinge to it. But lovely lather. Let me wet my face and begin to shave. Uh, the soap didn't really bloom out to be any stronger than it was off the puck when I lathered it. I think that this is going to end up being like a great deal of Stirling soaps. The scents are a lot of times sometimes subtle. Lather is wonderful. Matter of fact, I think that it'll take more water than that. And one of the things about shaving soap, I think people, one of the mistakes I think they make, and please understand, I still consider myself a noob, or newbie, whatever it is you want to call that. But I think a lot of times, even seasoned veterans, people that have been doing it for a long time, tend to err on the side of a dry lather because they start out dry. Experience has taught them to begin dry, fairly dry, and add water. And then, we look at our lather, and we like a thick lather. So I think a lot of times one of the biggest mistakes that is made is on the side of not enough water in the lather. So when I look at a lather and it's nice and thick and creamy, and I can't see through it, then I'll add just a little bit more water. You see a lot of the lather shots online, people showing pictures of the lather they made and stuff like that. There's a lot of peakiness and stuff like that. And that's good. I'm not saying it's not. But I've come to realize that I kind of like my lather a little sloppy, wetter than what most people would think of. I don't want it so see-through that you can see every whisker and all of that stuff, but I want a fairly wet type of lather. I think that and this is just personal opinion, but I think that the wetter a lather is, within reason, you can get too much water in a lather, and then the lather doesn't have any cushion and stuff like that. But I think the wetter that a lather is, tends to bring out any kind of inherent slickness. Man, I love the way that Schick shaves. I could do that one pass right there. That would be perfectly acceptable to just do one pass with that razor. And that's 2 days worth of growth. I cannot see in the mirror any whiskers or anything like that. It's really smooth. Loving that. But anyway, and if you haven't ever used a Schick injector, especially the injector, you know, there are guys, there's a single edge subform in most, if not all, the forums, and there's a reason for that. They are wonderful razors, but now these Schicks, if they're not king of the injectors, they'll give a good run for the money for that position. They're just really efficient at mowing down stubble, and they look, the thing looks deceptive. Look at it. I mean, it's a tiny little bit of nothing, but look at the blade exposure on that razor. I mean, it's a serious tool, and one of the things that I like about it is its size. It's a very small, the head is very small. It gets into all the different corners and angles of your face. Really easily. And what I've understood about my beard, you know, most people would call this an across grain pass. Virtually everywhere on my face, even my cheeks, this is against the grain. Across the grain on my face, pretty much everywhere, except under here, that goes everywhere, but it still predominantly grows in that direction. But across the grain for me, pretty much everywhere on my face is straight up and down. This direction right here is against the grain for me. Now I know people go, well, you do a with the grain pass, and you do an across the grain pass, then you do an against the grain pass, you know, in that order. Well, I would agree on with the grain. That should be the first pass you make. But I don't care. After that, I don't think whether you do it against the grain or across the grain as your second pass makes a dime's worth of difference. Matter of fact, I think that sometimes it's advantageous to do an against the grain pass on your second pass, because you may find that you don't need a third pass if you do that. The scent of this soap is indeed much stronger in the container off the puck than it is on my face. I can almost not even smell this soap when I put it on my face. So, I mean, that right there, on other soaps it wouldn't be that big of a deal. So let me preface that, what I'm fixing to say with that. You know, there are, I'm not so worried about, and that's it. That's all the passes I need. That's almost baby butt, and I'm not going any further than that. So 2 passes a day with the Schick Injector works just fine. But what I was trying to say about the soap, with other soaps that have less of a scent factor to them. It's not a big deal to me as long as the soap performs well, and this soap performed every bit as well as any other Stirling soap that I've used, which is to say excellently. Very slick and cushiony and all of that. Easy to lather, all that kind of deal. But, you know, it's disappointing to me because I'm such a lavender fan that the scent is not as prevalent as I would like. But we will see as the week goes on and I shave with this soap whether that improves any. Anyway, God bless you. Thank you for watching this video and subscribing to my channel and all of that. I'll see you on the big shave and on the forums. Thank you.